Hey everybody, hello and welcome back. So, all right, buckle up for this one because this isn't a reseller success story. This is the kind of weekend that makes you question your life choices, your sanity, and whether vintage lamps are cursed. So, welcome to the worst customer interaction weekend I've ever had on eBay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a weekend as bad as the one we've just had. So there were three buyers, three disasters, one seller, that's me, hanging on by a thread. So let's go, everybody. So then, first one. So someone has bought a batch of replacement parts, reclaimed vintage parts, vintage lamp heads, uh, and bits and bobs that are meant for repair projects. So you can't get these, you can't buy them from the shop. They're just there if you are skilled enough to repair yourself. So they then item an item not as described. Yep. They do that because, wait for it, that they couldn't get the parts to work in their lamp. So they're not broken. They're not misrepresented. Certainly not misrepresented. Just they're not magically fixing their lamp for them. So they return the lot, and I'm left wondering if, well, maybe when I sell parts, I should start including a wand and a spell book with every order, so boom, they can fix them. Not cricket and not fair because we actually offer free returns on our business account, so they could have just returned them without saying and going into war and peace on the fact that they were not as described. So totally not happy and out of pocket on that one. So next, someone messaged me about an item we got to sale, and this is a stuffed toy. It is absolutely massive. It is a life-size border collie. So it's huge, and can we hold it for 24 hours until they get paid? Sweet, right? Yeah, okay, no problem. It's still for sale, but yeah, if you're buying it, no problem. Even ask, oh, it's lovely. It needs to come to me. Bit of a over the top story, and yeah, brilliant. We thought got the sale. If it happens, yes, it happens. It happened next morning. They must have had the money in the account, and yes, they purchased it. No problem. With a little message saying, yeah, he's coming home soon. Really nice. So they followed through with it. It's all great. So we pack it, and it's a huge item. It was a DPD order because of the volume size, not the weight. Print the label, and then we haven't dropped it off at the courier because DPD we have to drop off, and we wait till later on in the evening because DPD don't collect from us. We don't use them that much. We only use them for massive things like bubble wrap or really big, large items that are light in weight. So, boom, they cancel it. And they say, can I cancel the order? And I'm like, whoa. And it's why? And it's they actually genuinely say, I want to cancel it because I want to spend the money that I've just bought the dog with on something else. So we've got two choices. We can ship it, send it, and say, no, I can't cancel it. But I can pretty much guarantee that's coming back as a return. So now I've packed the parcel, I've wasted all that time, and the dog is now in the box. He's not coming back out, but he's in the box with severe abandonment issues. So that's that's the second one. And then comes the piece de la resistance, the creme de la creme, the top of the top. And this, you've got to say the person has got some tenacity. So buyer messages about a pair of vintage lamps. We've got Laura Ashley lamps, and great. And they buy them. And we're like, okay, brilliant. But then the first message we get from this buyer was, oh, you sent an offer on these for £2 cheaper than what they were. But it must have been an eBay fault because you've charged me full price. And I go, well, I didn't know if I'd sent it. I didn't know if my wife had sent it. So I go, okay, no problem. For £2, I'll refund you the £2. And is that, I've now looked at it, that must be the sucker test. So they must say, this guy's a sucker, or this company's a sucker, or this business is a sucker. I've already got £2 off them for basically nothing. Because it subsequently turns out that I didn't send the offer out for £2 cheaper, and my wife didn't send the offer out for £2 cheaper. And when you go to the eBay offers page, once the item's sold, you can't find it. Unless you know how to find it, then please tell me. So they're checking if I'm soft or if we're soft. The lamps arrive with them, and suddenly they've arrived damaged. And they send photos of the bottoms of the lamps. Now, I packed those, and the lamps were packed like that. The bottoms were not in the same place as the parcel. They were packed like that, and they were put inside a box separate from the lampshades, so they were double boxed. So for those two bottoms of those lamps to have been damaged in transit would have meant that something would have had to have impacted the parcel from both ends at once, not just a corner, because they weren't there. So it could happen. It could have been squashed between two dumbbells. But the damage that was shown on the photographs would look like the bottoms of the lamps had been peeled off and some plastic. There was no physical, real damage. And then it looked as if one of the bottoms had got detached from the stem. But the bubble wrap was still around it, so you couldn't actually see. And I subsequently realised that you can actually unscrew that stem. And I'm like, great. These weren't damaged in the post. They could not have been, or it would have been. In fact, if for that to happen, they must have been crushed, and the whole thing would have been demolished. I asked for some pictures of the packaging because obviously I was going to, at this point, didn't think anything, would just process it as a return. That's what we do. No pictures of the packaging, no pictures of anything came. So I sent them a label. No problem. Logged onto eBay, said, return the items. You can have your money back. Got no issues whatsoever. Send them back to me because I'll sell the shades and I'll put a claim in with the courier. Because the shades are just probably, they're Laura Ashley shades. They're probably worth as much as the lamps. Or I'll get some of my money back. Didn't think much of it. Later then, label doesn't work. So they come back to me and say, the label doesn't work. I'm like, well, that's just not my issue. I haven't sent the label. eBay has generated you a parcel force label because it's over the size of Royal Mail, and send them back to me. Then, a few hours later, I might be able to fix one of them. And I'm like, wow. But you've said that they're totally damaged and you wanted a refund. At that point, I say, well, send them back. There's no point you messing around with them. It's electrics, blah, 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 blah. And then another one saying, the courier can't pick up the parcel. I've the label you have sent, I can't get and book a collection with parcel force. I thought once you've got a number, you could do it. But hey, in fact, I know you can. Then they're cancelling the return. And can I refund them for the one lamp that is severely broken and they won't be able to use? Hold on. You've gone from the one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. And finally, as I still hold my ground, they go, if you don't refund me, I'm going to leave the worst negative feedback ever. And this is the worst customer experience I've ever had. Boom. Well, that's it. Obviously, I'm waiting for the negative feedback. The offer still stands. If you are watching this, please return those two lamps to me at my cost and I will give you your money back. I will have a look at them. I will see how they got damaged. I'll claim off the courier. I've got no problems whatsoever with that. And genuinely, if you are that person, send them back. Please send them back. Put the label on, put the parcel in, take it in, drop it off to the post office. They'll take the parcel off you and get them back to me. I'll have a look at them. I'll see how they got damaged in the post. And if it was damaged by the courier, I will fully give you my money back because that's what we do. So that wasn't a transaction. That, to me, was a psychological endurance test on if they can grind me down. So watch out for that one. Watch out for people trying that first sucker test to see if you're crazy. But hold your ground. Do the return. And then if you do get a negative feedback and eBay won't remove it, which sometimes they won't, Put the entire verbose description and say exactly what you've done, because from my point of view, you can't please everyone all of the time, and people are um, emotionally and psychologically different. So, perspectives is different for everything. So that's the third kicker, which is making me think, great, this eBay stuff is really good. So, what's the takeaway? Well, it's normally chicken curry, fried rice, salt and chili chips, but for us anyway. So, if you're selling on eBay and it's especially vintage or reclaimed goods, then you gotta stay sharp. Know the difference between a genuine issue and a soft touch test. Hold your ground. That's all I can say. Hold your ground, document everything, and don't let the scammers rewrite your own standards. That's all I can say. This weekend was brutal, but it reminded me of why I do it. I do this not for the easy flips and the quick wins, although they are nice and we love those. And not for some fake hype and me saying, look at us, how we've packed this, blah, 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 blah. But I will say, we do on average 200 items a month, which is nothing, because people do 200 items a day. It's about these videos about people who value the grind, the story, and the people behind it. Because if you've had a nightmare, buy it, and you want to share that experience, drop it in the comments below. It's interesting because it it's hard to explain the frustration that you get, but I always look at it and say to the wife, well, we're making money. And at the end of the day, you are going to find the more that we sell, the more we're going to get interactions with people that just don't have the same perspective as us, don't have the same ideas as us, don't have the same approach as us. And that's what's going to make it. That's going to make us either succeed or fail or give it up. So thanks very much, and hope to see you in the next video. Cheers.